can an editorial website share a name trademarked for a podcast? If not, does this mean I need to come up with an entirely different name? Or would it be okay to just adjust it enough so it's not the exact same?
So let's talk a little bit about podcast services versus like editorial website services. And what's interesting is that both of these services, by two different companies with the same name, are going to be in the exact same class of services at the USPTO. So quick recap, there's 45 different classes of goods and services at the USPTO. The first 34 are products, and then 35 through 45 are going to be services. Both of these companies are going to fall into class 41, which is educational entertainment services. Well, I shouldn't say that. I was thinking that this was actually like a website that they were protecting in class 41. That's tricky. So I think my answer would be no. This wouldn't be a potential problem. Unless, of course, the editorial website is about editing podcasts, right? Then of course, it's going to be too close, right? Because you can have a podcast about editing podcasts and have a podcast or a editing podcast service or whatever. But I think, I would say it's a big world. And so long as that there's no confusion between the parties regarding, the services that each are providing. So your podcast might be about cars and their website might be about editing websites, right? If that's the case, then there's no likelihood of confusion here, even though they're the exact same name in the exact same class.
Got it.
So the presumption would be at the USPTO that there would be an issue, and then the examining attorney would look at it, and he or she would make the determination of whether or not there's actually any likelihood of confusion. And I would say very likely there isn't, but if they're in any shape, form related to one another, if they're both about business, for example, or consulting services, then it's going to be a problem.